We're cruising the Great Loop Waterway from Florida to the Great Lakes and back again. Join me and Captain Tom on our yacht Swamp Puppy as we figure out full-time boat life and navigate through rivers, lakes, canals, and more.
Welcome aboard Swamp Puppy. I'm Captain Tom, and today we're starting the Great Loop. Swamp Puppy is a 1989 Carver Santiago 38, and it has twin Yanmar diesels. They are the 4LH STEs. So here we are, finally launching on the Great Loop. We're currently in the Sebastian Inlet area, which is pretty close to where I grew up. I grew up in Central Florida, and I grew up coming over here to Sebastian Inlet to go boogie boarding, going over and catching the waves as a kid. If you take a look behind me, the weather is not in our favor. This kind of reminds us of our Maiden Voyage. When we went from Key Largo to Fort Pierce, we set out on Halloween, and it was a small craft advisory with 25-mile-an-hour winds. Now today at 2 p.m. it's calling for 40-mile-per-hour gusts, 25-mile-an-hour winds and 40-mile-per-hour gust. So we got about 4 hours to make it to a hurricane hole, so to speak. And so we need to get underway. I've already done my systems checks. Let's get moving.
Hey, where did we go? Days when the rains came down in the hollow, playing a new game, laughing and a running, hey, hey, skipping and a jumping in the misty morning fog with our hearts a thumping, and you, a brown-eyed girl, and you,
Checking the weather for us. He's going to let us know.
We've been underway for 40 minutes now. We're cruising along at about 1,300 RPMs at 7 knots, which is approximately 8.2 miles per hour. We've got 11 foot underneath our keel. That's not the, that's underneath our lowest point, essentially. And we're cruising along on the ICW. It just started misting some. It's been pretty nasty looking outside, but it's actually now misting enough to where it's a tad bit annoying. But our ETA was about 1150, and the strong winds are supposed to come in around 2, so we should be okay. It's just going to be not the most pleasant, experience. It can't all be, rainbows and sunshine.
I'm having a blast. And you get rainbows from rain.
A brown-eyed girl. And you, my brown-eyed girl. And whatever happened to Tuesday and so slow, going down the old man with a transistor radio, standing in the sunlight laughing, hiding behind a rainbow's wall, slipping and sliding all along the waterfall with you.
We're an hour and 20 minutes in, currently doing 8 miles per hour. We're doing good. So far, the weather has held out for us, knock on fiberglass. It's been, it was a little misty earlier, but right now it is nice, and it's nice and cool, which is awesome. We only have a helm at the fly bridge. We made that decision. We love the outdoors. We knew we might suffer a little in inclement weather, but that's okay with us. Now, if you take a look at the helm, you'll notice that it's still rocking the 1980s technology. This is completely gone, doesn't work. Half the stuff here doesn't work or is gone, like this old depth finder. Look at that thing. That's what it used to look like. That's what it looks like now. So I'm gonna have some stuff over here and some stuff over here, and kind of change the whole thing, get all this stainless cleaned up and looking good. Get an angle finder that works for our rudder. I got the new trim tabs in. You can see we have some new upholstery here. This is something that we did. Elise sewed for how many days? 12 days straight she sewed all the fabric, which is pretty cool.
Do you remember when we used to sing sha la 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 da, just like that. Sha la 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 da, la da.
Well, it's raining again, but that's okay. That's just kind of how it goes. We had to make a move because where we were wasn't going to be as protected, and the winds that are coming, it wasn't going to be very fun. So we had to move. Obviously, we would not like to move in weather like this, but in this circumstance, we had no choice. It's raining again. Other than that, things are going good. Rain has passed. We're about 20 minutes away now. Elise made me a hot tea, so I'm feeling good. I just want to give you a little information. It's currently 15 mile an hour winds, or what was it, 11 gusting to 15, something like that. So not too terrible. And the winds are no longer going to be up to 40. They're staying like 30. We finally seen a boat. We hadn't seen a boat all day long, and we actually got passed. And it was the first time they called on the radio.
So hard to find my way. Now that I'm all on my own. I saw you just the other day. My, you have grown. Cast my memory back there, Lord. Sometimes I'm overcome thinking about making love in the green grass behind the stadium with you, my brown-eyed girl. You, my brown-eyed girl.
This motor vessel Swamp Puppy on your south side requesting an opening. This is our first swing bridge opening. We've had to call other bridges, but first swing bridge, pretty cool.
Super cool.
Do you remember when we used to sing? Sha la 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 in the green grass. Bit by bit by bit by bit by bit by bit. Sha la 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 da la da la da 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 da.
Time to drop the anchor. Elise is getting the bridle ready. You know, we're gonna have some winds from north and the east. There's a little channel here. There is a sunken boat right there. And this is a March Anchorage. Lots of good reviews. In fact, Technomadia stayed here in 2018, which is kind of cool. They're one of the very first YouTube channels I watched before I got into RV life back in 2018. So our yeah, and how I first learned about the loop, so kind of cool. Yeah, they are still looping because they're sloopers. Sorry if we can hear Elise or not. So essentially our plan is to kind of drop the anchor in this area, and then we'll get pulled back towards these condos over here. So basically drop the anchor here, and then we should end up right over here. That way we're not blocking this channel, and we still have, you know, plenty of space to swing around. That's the plan. Let's make it happen. All right, anchor away. Must have already hit the bottom. I'll back up. This is our first time using a bridle, and this is the first time with a nice anchor other than last night. So previously on our maiden voyage, we had an old Danforth that was bent, and it took a few times to set. It was always kind of stressful. So far, the Mantus has set on both first drops, which is pretty cool. Now it is a much heavier anchor than we had previously, and a much newer anchor, like design and everything. So, but we're getting it figured out. Elise is setting up the bridle, and then we'll back down, give it a little tension so we don't keep sliding towards this sunken sailboat.